When the boundaries are crossed, the shelter was not really strong and enemies are taking advantage of that. And this is not really nice situation. I think many of us have experienced that. So we will notice in the chart what yogas are causing that, and then we can also apply the remedies and we can protect it. So the first thing is to diagnose the problem and then we can do something about it. So today we will be starting with that shelter, how it is protecting us, and we will have 3 nice combinations. There are many yogas. You will see how really spot this in the chart. So we will have like 3 exercises for that. So let's roll the intro and start with the first one. Probably you know there is a special house for protection, and if that is not strong, then many people can exploit that. And the better will be at diagnosing where the problem lies, also the solution will be much better, right? Because you may be surrounded by malefic or by inauspicious elements, but if you are strong, if your boundaries also are protected, then nothing happens. It's like a good vaccine which keeps you immune to all those elements which could otherwise harm you. So let's see with the first example what's going on. So the 9th house is very important for that because it shows the fortune, the dharma, it has the main karaka, Jupiter, and the secondary karaka, the sun. So it is showing also our elders, and it's also showing our past. So all those archetypes, they are very close. They are showing the very similar umbrella of meanings. But what we want to focus today is that shelter. If you are in the wrong place at the wrong time and you don't have that fortune, that protection, then you are inviting the bad things. Let's analyze the 9th house, how it is manifested, and how we can learn the good lessons. With the first one, we have someone who was a physician, was having even the common practice or common clinic with his wife, and we can see that in the chart. Analyzing these yogas, they are working perfectly for that, but we will skip this step for now and we will go straight to other element of his career life. So when he switched to politician and he went to a politics, he was in Democrat and governor of Vermont from 91 to 2003. And then he lost in around January 2004. And this caused some kind of, I would call it acceleration, and is nicely working with his chart because he has an exact yoga for that. We can also combine this 9th house analysis with that. He had that nice image of person who is very, balanced, very intelligent, and who has a very nice strategy for his program, but he lost. And after the loss, he made some kind of, we could say, like he was giving a public speech, which even now is called the Dean speech, because, or Dean scream, because in that he was just the emotion. Some people were calling this meltdown, and even the TV exploited that. I was reading about that they even put the background of other people, noise of the background down, and his voice was put up, so it is looking as if he is talking to himself. So it's quite crazy situation. Is the 9th house important here, right? It's like a somewhat public humiliation. So he is doing something, or he is pushed by others to do something, and there are no breaks, right? That breaks of Sun and Jupiter, that reason are not working. And those impulsivity of Ketu and Mars are pushing him to different types of activity. So we have 2 examples like that, and we will be able to find what are the real ingredients for that. So do we have some special yoga in this chart, right? Because if we take 9th house, it is Aquarius, aspected by Saturn, and that's it. The 9th lord, however, is in the 3rd house. So it is leaving the 9th house. This is not good yoga. It's when the lord is going to the 7th, we say that the protection can leave the person. But what is even more important, the other 9th lord, Rahu, is in the 11th. So this Rahu and Saturn, they are forming, we could say, the Papa Kona yoga, because Papa is malefic, Kona is like Trikona, 1st, 5, and the 9th. And they are doing that at the Jupiter. Now, Jupiter is very important because Jupiter is the karaka of that whole 9th house scenario, that protection. What is even more, this all happens in the Kendra, which is showing our boundaries. We can see how two lords of the ninth house are doing that Papa Kona yoga of the seventh house on that Mars. And now this is very important because the seventh house shows the public and also shows the other people. This is Mars, which is the sixth lord, which is also showing the enemies. So the enemies has exploited this situation. And we also can see how this Mars in the seventh house and Saturn related to the first house is giving something which is called exhilaration yoga, which is, it's not a madness because the Vedic texts are calling that madness, but it was explained in our tradition that it is more like your emotions. It's like similar to mania. You can go a little bit out of that meta perspective, right? Of that reason, especially if you have those Mars and Ketu. And you will also notice that the Lagna Lord is related to Ketu and Aruda Lagna is aspected by Ketu. So we can also see that there's this being without head, right? So it's even more mania related ingredients put to that recipe. So yes, we have a situation when we have ingredients of ninth house afflicted, rather leaving the situation. They are pointing at that seventh house of other people, sixth lord, enemies exploiting that situation. And we have also this ascendant lord related to Ketu, which is showing like being without head. So he can be pushed by the situation, by the vigor of what was going on, right? He was promising that we will win next time. And TV exploited that as a meltdown. I have watched that video. It doesn't look so bad to me, but if you will do some editing, maybe it was shown in a little bit other perspective. And I've read that after some time, those TV station, they said that they a little bit overplayed the whole situation. So this is quite interesting thing, how the protection of the reason is leaving you. If you have those, let's call it quasi-mania yogas, right? This Mars, Ketu, then this may push you a little bit over the board. But what makes this example so special is that Dasha at the time was Saturn, Rahu. In other Dasha, it was Saturn, Venus. So Venus, fifth lord in the fourth, followers are leaving you in a very stressful period, Benefic and Kendra, debilitated. But the Kevala Dasha, Saturn, Rahu. So now we know that in that time, really the protection was leaving him. Without Dasha is fine, but we are still having some, we could say, doubt. Is it this? But now with the Dasha, we know, yes, Saturn, Rahu, pointing at that weak Kendra in the seventh house with the Madana Karakasana and sixth lord. Now the next chart is also very similar in this regard. And now let's start with the Dasha. It was like Jupiter Ketu, right? So Jupiter Ketu in the seventh house, and the Vimshotri was the Venus Jupiter. So we can see how that Jupiter and Ketu are activated in the seventh house, right? But what is about the yoga related to the ninth house? The Taurus Lagna ninth house is Capricorn, and the lord of Capricorn is Saturn, which is again leaving that ninth to the third. So very similar situation. It's like the one who protects or should protect the house, and it's even more symbolic because it's not only protector of the house, but it's a protector of you, right? Ninth house is protecting you. So he's like leaving you, we could say, is having that Saturn in the third house. It is showing, I will not protect you. And who is exploiting that situation? Because as we said, there must be ninth house weak and someone has to exploit. We have that Sun and Mars in the ninth house. Now Lagna Lord, which is the you again, is in the eighth. So when the Lagna Lord is afflicted or badly placed, then you may also do some mistakes. It's like self-inflicted situation. And what makes it more problematic, we have again similar scenario, which means that the reason yogas are like leaving you, and those mania or those pushing, those fire are making you like do it. They are pushing you over the edge. Here we can see that Jupiter is with Ketu and two fiery Grahas in the Badaka, and that ascendant lord who should have this nice, calm Jupiter blessing between Mars and Ketu. So this person may again be pushed towards weird situations. We have again seventh house related to Mars, and first lord moon is with Saturn. So Mars related to seven and Saturn related to first. There's again some maybe not pure exhilaration yoga, but there may be many weird things said. And what would be the situation to say that, in which situation it will expand. We can see that Aruda again is aspected by Ketu, so he will be known from mistakes. And here we have with the Jupiter, it will be related to academia or children. And it was both. He is known from correcting the child how he wrote the potato. He corrected him wrongly, and then he was the victim or center of the public humiliation. So we have this connection to Jupiter. We have this Lagna Lord in the 8th. And again, how we know that what we are talking about is related to that specific situation? Maybe we are overstretching, maybe we are justifying, because in that time when he did that, he was exactly in the Dasha of Jupiter, Ketu. So Saturn, the 9th Lord, is leaving. Jupiter, the Karaka, is also afflicted in the 7th house, 0 Digbala. And the Ascendant Lord is between that, Ketu and Mars. Anyway, if you like to have your chart analyzed, if you have these yogas in the chart when we analyze your Rasi Navamsha and other Vargas, the timing and the remedies for the career life relationship and your health, then please find the link in the description for the Zoom consultation, 60 or 90 minutes. Okay, let us go now to the third example. We have here Jeffree Star, very, very eccentric personality, and also the chart is reflecting that. Here we have 9th house Leo and the Lord Sun. Is it good place? Is it bad place? How the Sun feels in the Libra? This is the question. And what it makes to be with Ketu, 12th Lord, and with the Venus, 6th Lord. Is it helping the 9th house, or is it again giving the others a situation to exploit? So when 6th Lord is in the 11th house, this may show like an enemy is taking your gains or is stealing something from you, especially if that whole situation is related to Ketu or the Saturn. And maybe also between yoga of 10th Lord in the 12th house, maybe also related to Saturn or Ketu. But let's focus on that part, not how it was exploited by others, which is, as you can see, also very clearly, but how there is even a situation to do it. Like the 9th house is, we can see here, quite, it's not protected. Even if we take the house alone, it's aspected by Rahu and Saturn. So we have Rahu and Saturn making it weak. The Lord is making it even weaker because it's debilitated in the 11th house, and Jupiter also is not feeling to protect it, being debilitated. In the time of Moon Ketu, you can see Ketu is joining that 9th Lord debilitated. Thieves have stolen from him merch, so it was like a new clothes which was not yet released, not yet published, which were $2 million. So you can see big loss is going on here. So as you can imagine, it's like Libra, it's like Venus, so it's all related to some marketing, some merch. We have the 6th Lord in the 11th house, so big situations happening. And the Parivartana 10, 12 is adding to that whole situation. You can see in the first example, we were dealing with the Trikona yoga. In the second one, there were a situation of leaving the 9th house. And here in this situation, we can see how this 9th Lord debilitated, being with the 6th Lord, have invited also bad people to exploit this lack of protection. So we should follow Sharavali, who says that if you have any yoga like this in the chart, then this is the first role of astrologer to protect one from such loopholes, so another will not exploit the person. Analyze your 9th house, analyze your 9th Lord. Is it afflicted by malefics? What you can do about it? Try to find the exact devata and then the exact form of devata, and even better, the exact mantra which is related to where that house or lord are placed. And especially if you are going into the contact of elements which are associated with that house or lord, you must be very careful. Like in the Jupiter case, it was around children, so don't say anything wrong in the academic situation. Here, be very careful about your gains, about your income, about your objects you have. In the first situation, it was related to the followers. You have the Mercury in the Ketu, Venus, or in the public scenario. If you're around your students, around your followers, you need to also be very careful. Situations in these circumstances, these are the ones which will have no protection and which can be later exploited. All right, guys, so that will do for today. If you find this interesting and informative, please don't forget to hit that likes. And if you would like to know about the general dharma of your chart, then please consider watching this one.